Hello, my name is Vianna Renaud, and I'm a Placement Development Advisor at Bournemouth University within the Faculty of Media and Communication. I'm also an Asset Trustee, where Asset is the UK Work-Based and Placement Learning Association. And I am here to talk to you about my doctoral research, which is everything to do about student employability, particularly that of the placement industrial component during their undergraduate course. In my role, I work with students during the placement year. So my first point of contact tends to be a telephone call where we have a nice chat. And I say, tell me about your placement search. How was it? And more often than not, they will say, I lost the will to live. I'm like, okay. So the next question has to be, okay, well, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What were some of the dream companies you wanted to work for? What was your dream internship? And for my faculty, they would say BBC, Disney, Fox, companies like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Okay. Well, then tell me, what was it about the application process that made you, that steered you towards that? Or what was on your experience? What was on your CV for that? And also, most of the time, the student would reply, there was nothing on my CV. I did not have any work experience or extracurricular activity experience on my CV. And that was when I realized there was a major disconnect. Also, I realized that, as staff members, we can give all these workshops and presentations to students, but unless they actually engage or take what we say on board, we all know it's not going to work. At the same time, I was very much aware of the popularity of peer-assisted learning programs, so PAL programs, particularly in the transition from school to university in the first year. And I thought to myself, perhaps, maybe this would be a case where we could combine. So with that as my background, I asked for participants and found 7 final year students to match up with 7 first year students. I devised a series of guidelines for about 4 to 6 different sessions. Offered them the opportunity to meet however they wanted to. So it could be face-to-face, or it could be virtual, or it could be via email, how they would exchange these ideas and these stories. And some of the topics covered were, the first one would be about the journey. So the final year student would talk about, their personal experiences with their CVs, interviews, the placement, maybe what they did first year and second year. Likewise, the first year student, that would be the perfect opportunity to find out why they chose the course that they did. What were they thinking about? Are they aware that they have to start looking for a placement next year? What are their plans for the summer? And it went absolutely phenomenally well. The final year students, the feedback following the project. Also, I asked for feedback 3 months onwards to see if there had any actions been taken during the summertime, as well as 1 year on. The lasting impact. Was there a lasting impact? And yes, the answer to that is yes. The first year students all had social media presences and LinkedIn profiles going into the first summer. They had secured work experience. And one student came back to me and said, oh my goodness, Vianna, my peers, my friends, they're kind of jealous I took part in this because they think I'm so well ahead of the curve regarding placement search. The final year students, I had 2 actually come back and say, oh my goodness, Vianna, within the first 6 months of my graduate role, not only did I speak about coaching and mentoring a younger student in my interview, a short time afterwards, my manager appointed me as a mentor and gave me someone to manage. So that has actually paid off hugely. Everyone unanimously said this was the best thing since sliced bread. Not quite that, but that they really would share with senior management that they would want this to be a part within the academic program. So the take-home point of today, and probably the call to action, is whether or not you have these systems on campus or not, it's about realizing that students do talk to each other. So do engage the final years with the first years, try to find different activities, or even do an informal coaching and mentoring program like I put together, because it will greatly impact student success, student satisfaction, and just everything can be positive from this. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I wish you all the best in creating employability initiatives on your campus that include students, peer assisted learning, and all the good stuff. We can keep trying to get that message out and to empower students, particularly during this challenging COVID time.